You've welcomed Stephen A. Into your sphere because you, like Mike Ryan and Stugotz, were saying, more mainstream eyes, that's great. Get more people involved with the sport. It's wonderful. I don't believe that the fan base in the sport feels the way that you do about that, Ariel, because they can be snobs about this stuff, and they want everyone to have the knowledge you have, and they can sniff it out when people don't have the knowledge that you have.
Well, Dan, you are a phenomenal journalist. Good morning to you and the whole team. You're just going to drive right by the stop sign that is this luchador mask that I'm wearing. I saw the thumbnail this morning. I thought we're all dressing up, but apparently I didn't get the memo that we're taking off the masks. So should I take this off? I'm a little bit embarrassed.
You should keep it on. We pranked you. We just said that we were all dressing up and we tricked you, but please keep it on. I was hoping that you would never mention it, that you would just spend the whole time doing the segment without ever taking it off.
I feel like one of those people that, one of those women that come to the Halloween party and they're just wearing the wrong outfit. If I'm being honest, I'm a little bit embarrassed right now.
Well, don't be embarrassed because, Ariel, this is all part of an effort on our part. We hope that in the next 20 minutes of asking you questions, something goes viral and without explanation, you being maximum journalist are wearing a wrestling mask and no one explains it.
You shall refer to me as El Nariz throughout this interview.
La Nariz, no? Isn't it La Nariz?
No, well, listen, I get to call the shots around here, Dan. And of course, I want to wish you all a congratulations on this new venture. I've been sitting by my phone, everyone telling me, including the Andrew Marchands of the world, that I was joining the pirate ship, and yet the offer never came. So it's a little bit disappointing, and I guess that's the state of journalism. But I consider myself, whether you like it or not, to be an extended member of the pirate ship family. Okay, now that we got all that out of the way.
No, we got it out of the way. But Ariel, and you are credible, and you are the top of your profession, but you're also a liar. The offer did come.
Listen, we're doing pro wrestling here, Dan. We're doing pro wrestling. I'm trying to protect us all. Kayfabe, Dan. How dare you? How dare you, Dan? You just broke kayfabe in the first 2 minutes of this interview.
Yeah, and Ariel, I'm sorry, I took all the money.
That's why the offer wasn't.
You spent it on Tahoe.
That's why the offer wasn't better. Clearly, Vox had a better offer because Stugotz took all the money.
That is true. That is true. But I love you guys, and I watch with great admiration from afar. In any event, okay, back to what happened on Saturday. I mean, obviously, I have a lot of different feelings and emotions regarding all of that. I mean, I was there for 3 years, and then I wasn't. It doesn't even seem like I was there anymore. It feels like it was just like some sort of fever dream. I will say this about Stephen A. He has a true, genuine passion and interest for the sport of MMA. It does not offend me, nor should it offend anyone who is watching when he is up there, because the man has actually been watching MMA. Like, there were times where I was at the Seaport Studios and whatnot, and I'm just sitting off to the side. No one wants to talk to me, of course, because I'm the big loser. I mean, like Mina and Pablo, they're all there. They're the belle of the ball. Jacoby, no one wants to talk to me at ESPN. I was the biggest outcast in my 3 years there, and we could get into that if you guys want. But Stephen A. would look for me.
I remember when Will Kane was based out of that very same studio. So
yeah, trust me, Will was way more popular over there than I was. Stephen A. would look for me and actually sit and talk to me about like some rant, Junior Dos Santos versus this guy. The guy appreciates and knows his stuff. So it doesn't bother me. MMA fans are like those fans of a band who, they saw their little band playing the dive bar and then it makes MSG and they all, wish that it could be like the good old days. But I think they need to lighten up a little bit. The reason why they get so upset about these things is because the UFC and MMA as a sport has developed some amazing analysts, guys who are still active fighters, guys like Bisping and Cruz, guys like Paul Felder and Daniel Cormier. All those guys deserve to be up there to talk about the sport and get that shine. So I think they feel a little bit defensive and territorial about it.
Did Dana White run you out of ESPN?
Wow, we're just getting right into it. So you really want me to answer this question wearing the luchador?
Yes. Without mentioning it, let me try again so that we can have the moment neat and we can go
Juju?
So we can have the moment viral. No, let me ask it again. Let's try again. Are you ready? Yes. Did Dana White run you out of ESPN?
So I can't answer that question with yes or no, but I will explain it like this. From the moment it was made public that I was joining ESPN, unbeknownst to me on my life, on my kid's life, I didn't know when I was hired by ESPN, I didn't know that they were in talks with the UFC. I had no idea. At the time, they really had like one MMA guy on the staff. I thought, all right, the sport is growing. Conor McGregor, they want to beef up the coverage. I had no idea about the other stuff. And then if you recall, and you could go back and look, initially they signed them to a 10-card deal, ESPN Plus only. And then I was like, all right, they're not the sole exclusive broadcast partner. I could live with that. And then it became the whole freaking thing. And then I started to get nervous. So from the moment it was made public in mid-May that I was going to ESPN, and at that time it had already been out that they had signed this deal with ESPN, the UFC did. Dana White tried to get me not even to make it to my first day. He raised hell to try to stop me. My first day was June 15th, tried to stop me to get to the first day. Now, to the credit of a lot of the executives there, they all said no. They all had my back. They gave me shows. They gave me opportunities. But for the next 3 years, it was, one roadblock after the next. It was one issue after the next. It was all kinds of stuff. I'll tell you a story. I've never even shared this story. When I would be at events, Dan and everyone, and let's say it's the weigh-ins, right? And there's a desk there and I'm doing something beforehand, but Dana White is coming as a guest in 30 minutes or something. I would have to be escorted out of the venue because per his request, I couldn't be in his vicinity or his line of sight. So here I am on the set of a company that I work for, and security, the nicest people in the world who were embarrassed that they had to do this, would tell me, I'm sorry, Ariel, we have to walk you out. You know how that makes someone feel? We have to walk you out of the venue because Dana White doesn't want you in his line of sight. I said, I'll sit right over there. I won't even look at him. I'll look at my phone. What are we doing here? So that's the kind of stuff that I had to deal with. I couldn't go backstage. I couldn't do a lot of other stuff. All that being said, DC and Helwani, Ariel and the Bad Guy, Ariel Helwani's MMA show. I had a very successful run there. They let me do sidelines. I have no ill will towards them. I know what they were having to deal with. I know that the issues that were brought upon them by him. And for the record, they did give me an offer. And it was an offer that I think a lot of people covering MMA would be thrilled with. At the end of the day, there was an offer that I had to turn down. They could have easily said, thanks for your time. Let's just go our separate ways. But they did give me an offer. It was not an offer that I felt was fair or that was, what I was looking for or even reflective of the work that I had done for the past 3 years. I was 100% disappointed by the offer. It was not what I was expecting. And so could you come up then with the theory that, hey, they made this offer to say that they made me an offer so that people don't blame them because they were, listening to Dana White? You could come up with that theory. I'm just going to choose to say, hey, at the end of the day, they paid me for 3 years. They lived up to their contract. That's something Fox Sports never did. They let me go when he asked them to let me go. So I give ESPN a lot of credit for that. But of course, I never expected to go and be a member of ESPN for just 3 years. No one expects that. And so in the end, they gave me that offer. I was allowed to look elsewhere. I'm now a lot more free, independent. I'll be honest, getting paid a lot more. So it all kind of worked out. I think he did me a favor, but that's why I have to give you that long preamble when you ask me the question, did he run me out? He didn't make it easy. He probably thinks he ran me out. In fact, I know he's celebrating that I'm not there anymore, but I would argue that, he did me a massive favor as a result of all of his complaints over the past 3 years. Does that make sense?
Yes, you care about journalism. You brought journalism to that sewer. I mean MMA, not ESPN. And you suffered trying to do journalism. So can you explain to us what the obstacles were? Because Dana White has no reason to care about journalism.
The obstacles at ESPN or throughout my life there, like covering the sport?
Well, I'm talking about the obstacles specifically. The degree of difficulty, I don't know if people understand the degree of difficulty of what it is you've done, which is you become the Howard Cosell of that sport that doesn't have a use for journalism, with some real bullying involved from the top of the power structure, a guy who likes to bully, and you made yourself matter as an independent entity that cares about journalism with credibility in a way that has an audience. They respect your credibility. You care about it. Then you go to ESPN, you got their guy in charge who doesn't care about it, who's gaining more and more power over there because his streaming service matters. He's gone mainstream and he doesn't want you there. So I'm asking you, obstacles on your journalism while there.
Okay, yeah. Well, while there, you see, here's the thing. I don't want anyone, because I know they'll say like, "Oh, here's Ariel whining and complaining." I'm good. I'm happy. In fact, I haven't been this happy in quite some time because I feel the freedom in my soul to do what I want. Not, I mean, it would come to the point where like I would tweet something and I would get in trouble for it because no one wanted to upset. Because I think there was a hope that things could be repaired. Early on in my time there, I was asked to reach out to maybe extend an olive branch, even though I felt I didn't have to extend any kind of olive branch. I was cost a lot of money by this man over the course of my life. I'm worth nothing. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's got houses all over the world. I'm some schmuck with 3 kids who's just trying to, live out the American dream. And I was asked to extend an olive branch, and I did because I wanted it for the better of the situation for everyone involved. And I never got a reply. Wasn't allowed to go backstage. My first 6 months there, Chael Sonnen and I, who I know that you've had on the show, and I think you hold in high regard. We did a pre-show and a post-show called Ariel and the Bad Guy. This example might not mean anything to you guys, but I thought that we had the chance to be the American MMA version of the Don Cherry, Ron McClain tandem.
Great show.
Yes, those two guys were an institution. Cherry's final days, didn't end well in Canada, but for 50 years, they were an institution on Saturday night. I thought we had that dynamic, and for 6 months, we did it, and I couldn't have been happier. And then the moment the TV deal started in January of 2019, right before I was told, "You're out," and I would have to sit at events off to the side while everyone else worked. And then I would have to come at the very end to do a little like YouTube hit or something like that. So it was always made uncomfortable. Now, Monday through Friday, I was treated like a king. I had my shows, I had all this stuff. But when I came to the events, it started to get very, very uncomfortable for me because they were doing everything in their power to make me feel unwelcome and all this stuff. And so, again, going back to the thing, like, I don't want anyone to think that ESPN, fired me or didn't extend any contract. They did. Of course, it wasn't what I was hoping for. And you could come up with your own type of theory as to, why they extended the offer that they extended. I think I'm worth a lot more than they offered. And I'm out to prove it. And I'll just add, the pettiness knows no bounds. The real estate, as they say in Las Vegas, I hear is pretty good these days. For Ariel Helwani, and I'll talk to myself in third person, it's rent-free because what they did on Saturday, the 2 shows that I had with Chael and DC, that I helped build, that I was the one who was promoting more than anyone, I mean, all day incessantly. I never got a single plug in my 3 years there, a single plug on any type of broadcast for 3 years. I stopped counting at the 7th plug on Saturday for their 2 new shows. And I love DC and Chael Sonnen like they're my brothers. I will literally go in front of a car for those guys. They're the most loyal friends. But the pettiness to try to raise those shows because now I'm out, to try to put me down because now I'm out, to try to continue to hurt me, put roadblocks in front of me because I'm out is laughable to me. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to continue covering this sport. I'm going to continue doing it the right way and the fair way. And they could bring their parade of sad sack fake journalists to their events all day long to do whatever they want to do and, bow down to them. I'll be just fine with the people that I'm working for. Vox, Ringer, Spotify, Substack, BT Sport. I'll be just fine. Not going anywhere.
Take out Sedano by name. Take him out by name.
Listen,
take him out.
Let me just say something. Let me take this off now. Let me just say something about Jorge Sedano. When I am getting serious. Yes. Here I am, Ariel Helwani in the flesh. I went to Tim Corrigan's office, and this is why I wanted to be known so much that I don't hold any ill will towards ESPN. In fact, the plugs that I'm talking about, they're not ESPN. As you guys know, the UFC controls the production. ESPN can say we want Kellerman and Stephen A. there. They can have influence, of course. They're not just sitting back in Bristol. But the UFC runs that production. It's one of the only sports entities on ESPN that the league, the partner, if you will, actually does the producing. That's why you'll never see me, or you didn't see me in the 3 years on those broadcasts. So I walked into Tim Corrigan's office. I don't know if that name means anything to you guys, but he's a big time guy at ESPN. One of my favorite people that I met at ESPN in September of 2019. I said, you don't know me. I'm sure you don't know me. I'm sure you know nothing about my work. I love the NBA and I would like to work as a sideline reporter. He said, I got to be honest, 20 plus years I've been here. No one's ever walked into my office and said this. You're right. I don't know you. We don't have any room for you. But if something opens up, I'll give you a call. True to his word, he gave me a call. I got to do a bunch of games. It was awesome. The first guy to reach out to me when he found out that I was doing this. And the guy who checked in with me during games, before games, after games, weeks later was George Sedano. That guy is a mensch of all mensches. I love that guy. I really do. And I'm happy that he's getting to work with Joe.
And you called him a terrible fake journalist. I'm pretty sure.
No. Please. I wasn't referring to him. I was referring to the SNL skit at the press conference on Thursday. Did you see that? If SNL writers were writing a skit based on what they thought MMA media looked like, it was the crew that showed up at the press conference on Thursday. Please, I don't want this. I love George Sedano. I don't want and Ryan Clark. I mean, I know he played for some loser franchise that like that. I mean, did you see what happened to them against the Browns? It's cool. He's from Louisiana. It's great and all, but there's only one Helwani, guys, and he's looking right at you right now.
Pipe bomb. Wow. Pipe bomb promo.
I mean, I lost count. 7th promo, 8th promo, 9th promo. And guess what? The ratings won't even be 1/4 of my ratings. They could promo all they want. Yeah. I'm still here. I'm still standing the whole damn show.
Yeah.
Shout out to RBG.
Fox Media, Spotify, BT Sports, Substack. He is everywhere.
A lot of jobs.
I'm buying a shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees presently.
Yes.
That's right. Helwani.
What
else you got, Dan? What other hard-hitting questions? I see you bringing out the 2011 ESPN All-Stars each and every week. It took you freaking 6 months to have me on this show. What else you guys got for me?
Fighter pay, yeah. Dana White. What do you got?
Okay, I mean, they signed this very nice deal with the funniest thing is that when they signed this uniform deal, I mean, could you believe fighters who are the most interesting people on the planet, the most unique individuals on the planet. I remember Mike Tyson, black shirt, black shorts, black boots. I mean, iconic stuff. Remember Chuck Liddell with the blue, the ice, Tito Ortiz with the fire. Now you want them to all look the same? You want them to look uniform? How does that work? Why would you do that? Of course, you would do that to make money. Now they say, oh, we want it to all be clean. We don't want it to look like NASCAR. We don't want the Condom Depot days anymore. Meanwhile, now they just signed with Venom, which is an MMA only, like you talk about blue chip. They ain't blue chip with all due respect. They're an MMA brand. Good on them. They got the deal. Now they signed with a crypto company. Crypto, I don't even know what crypto is. Is that real? What is that, Pokemon cards? I don't even know what that is. And they put it on the front of everyone's kit, as they call it, because they're very European. $175 million 10-year deal, the biggest in UFC history. Guess what percentage of that money is going to the fighters?
Oh, no.
Guess what percentage?
No.
$175 million for 10 years. I don't know what that math is. Was that 17.5 million a year?
It's got to be something, right? It's got to.
Tell me, guess 5, 8%.
10%, 5%.
5%. Stugotz, what's your guess?
I would say more like I would say 10%.
It's going to be 10%. It's going to be less
Mike,
than
you
that?
got something for me?
Well,
what do you got?
15%.
Well,
15%. Tony,
yeah.
what do you got? Tony, what do you
I
got?
got 9.5, Ariel.
9.5.
Billy?
Chris, you got something? Chris?
7%.
10%. Billy, what do you got?
30%.
30%. All great guesses. The actual retail price is 0%.
What?
0% from the
What?
fighters.
Thanks,
Just like the 0% that they get from the TV deal, just like the 0% that they get from all those other sponsors that are all over the cage. Look, I care deeply about this sport. I love this sport. One time, one of the complaints was that I'm too negative. I'm too negative about the sport of MMA. I would argue that I did more in 3 years to promote the sport of MMA and the UFC in particular on ESPN than anyone, including Dana White, with my positive takes, with my appearances at 9 a.m. on SportsCenter and all that stuff. I have done more, I think, to try and let people know about this sport than anyone. And that's not me trying to give myself the old Barry Horowitz to pat my back. I love this sport and I love these fighters deeply. And so when I find out that a $175 million deal is signed and they get none of it, that breaks my heart. And I will be honest, sometimes when you see how the sausage is made in this sport, you kind of wonder, like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? Like, look at the gate on Saturday, 16 million, and everyone's celebrating that they upped the bonuses from 50K to 75K. Do you know what 75K is to these guys? Nothing. I just want the fight. Can we get the fighters a little closer to 50% of the revenue as opposed to 15%? Can we do that? That's all I want. Because look, Conor McGregor is underpaid, regardless of what you may think of him. Now he's in a hospital bed because his ankle just snapped. He'd even get what he was what he was owed. Dustin Poirier didn't get what he was owed. They were the stars of the show. And of course, the UFC deserves some money because they built the damn thing and they put up the costs and all that. I get that. But the fighters deserve more because of how dangerous the sport is. And that's all I want. That's all I care about. And so it's all coming from a good place. They view it as me trying to stir the pot, be an instigator, be too negative. All right, whatever.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, Guillermo. Do you put at Lebatard Show? Do you give yourself the old Barry Horowitz at Lebatard Show? We like free Helwani here. It is nice. You have
Independent Helwani is a force to be reckoned with. There hasn't been a force like this in the world of mixed martial arts dating back since Hoist Gracie, UFC 1, who has steamrolled through the competition. Where's Parakeet Cortez at? I thought he was going to be up here. That's my guy. Where's he at?
He's in the chat doing the rest of us. Let's just do it. Let's get him out of here because he's got to get out of here. He's doing what we're doing. Yeah.
Me? That's it? That's it? All of this for 18 minutes? I want more time. Who do you have next? Viva la revolution! And where's that loser David Sampson who killed baseball in 2 cities? Where's he at? I thought he was going to show up. 10-7 Helwani all day, every day.
I regret so much that Metal Lark did not offer you more money because Stugotz took it all.
Of course you did. 8-figure talent right here. Put some more zeros on the check, guys.